Good morning students, welcome to the social class. In the previous class we have completed the three functions of the constitution. Today we need to discuss about the fourth function of the constitution. What are those three functions? The first one is it protects the rights and save and satisfy the ideals of the people. Yes, with the example of the Nepal movement, we completed this topic. Nepal people fought for the democracy and they have constructed a new constitution according to their ideals. And the next one is define the nature of the political system. Means in a country whether the ruler is powerful or constitution is powerful is decided by this point. In a good, solid and free democratic country, always it is constitution gains more marks and it is powerful than any other. Next one is it safeguards the interest of minorities. Even though majority people's decision is very strong, but it safeguards the interests of the minority people also. With the help of storyboard, we have completed this point also. Right? And the next point and the last function, it is not the last, but it is one of the function of the constitution. That is protect the basic structure of the system. Yes, it is little bit different than other points. It saves us from ourselves. It means constitution. Constitution saves us from ourselves. Sometimes we need to take very hard decisions to see the better future. And we need to stick on to the rules and regulations for big ideals. With the example of the storyboard in the textbook, we can understand this topic clearly. In the storyboard, Shabnam would like to watch a TV program, but she had an exam tomorrow. Exam is most important than program, but she should stop herself to not to watch the program. If she stand on the hard rule, then she will success in the long run. Exactly. Instead of watching TV, she prepared for the exam. And next day morning, she felt very happy by seeing the question paper. If we hold some hard decisions, then we can enjoy in the future. So, this is a small story which represent sacrifice the small things to get the big things. Because of the bad politics, the people in the democratic country may feel that dictatorship would be better for them. But in future, it will give adverse effect and it is opposite to the ideals and interest of the people. The constitution will not let the people to take their decisions in the anger. It laid down strong provisions to safeguard the basic structure of the system. By reading all these things, we can understand the importance of constitution. Now we need to go to the key features of the constitution. Before going to the key features of the constitution, we need to know about the Constituent Assembly. After the long suppressed from the British, the nationalists of India decided that the India's future would be a free and strong democratic. So, a group of 300 nationalists formed as Constituent Assembly and they strived 3 years to construct a good constitution to our country. So it has to be safeguard the rights of the people and it has to provide freedom to the people. At the same time, it has to lay down a good way to the ideals of the people in India. So to construct a good constitution at that time is not at all easy job. Many of the things revolve in the minds of the Constituent Assembly people about the India. So some problems are there to construct constitution. What are those problems? And what is the situation of India in 1946? India is struggling with all these problems at the time of drafting of constitution. We will look into these problems. The first one is cultural diversity. Of course, it is the strength of the India also. But at the time of constitution making, it is a problem to the Constituent Assembly members. Why? Because the people in India belongs to different languages, different religions, different regions. So to frame a collective constitution for all these people is a big task to our assembly members. And the next one is partition of India and Pakistan. Yes, partition of India and Pakistan by the Britishers is a big shock to the Indians. It affected adversely to the Indians as mentally and economically, socially also. So they disturbed because of the partition of India. So in that situation, it is very difficult to frame a good and ideal constitution to the present India. The next one is a weak socio-economic condition. By the ruling of the Britishers, our social and economic condition become very weak and they created lots of differences in society. They left the country like pieces of the regions. So to frame the rules and regulations for all that pieces is very difficult part. Why? Because it's not just a piece of land, it is the people and their sentiments, their cultures, their attitudes. So it was very difficult task to control the mindset of the people at the time in India. The next one is undecided future of the princely states. After the independence, in India we have many princely states. These princely states are not gave the confirmation to Indian government whether they will include in the Indian government or they will be free. So it is the man Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel who merged the all princely states into Indian government. So before that, the future of these princely states is question mark. Whether will they come to Indian government or will they want independent governments. So that was also a big task to the Constituent Assembly members to construct a new constitutions to India. Whether it is belongs to some states or whether it belongs to whole country. The next one is poor literacy rate. Most of the people don't know how to read and write in India at the time of 1946 and 47. So they are illiterate. How those people can understand the rules and regulations of constitution is a big task before the Constituent Assembly members. And they have spent 3 years time on the constitution and they keep on modifying the provisions and articles in the constitution after a long debate. So at last our Constituent Assembly members succeeded to overcome all these problems and drafted a strong constitution which was fit for the ideal of the Indians. And it strongly decided the role of the citizens in electing their representatives also. So now we need to move on to the topic of key features of the Constitution. Key features of the Constitution. These key features of the Constitution make India a strong nation. So we have federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights. So these the key features we have in our textbook. We will discuss about the federalism. India is a very big country. It is not possible in India to take the decisions from one place. That's why in India we have three-tier government system. In that the first one is central government, second one is state government, third tier is local self-governments. Means in the villages we will call it panchayat, in the urban areas we will call it municipality. So with the help of this three-tier system, we can take the decisions quickly. At the central level, central government has to take the decisions. State level, state governments will take the decisions. At village level, panchayat or municipality will take the decisions. Even though states have their authority, some decisions hold with central government which are under the control of only central government, like railways. And Constitution specify that states can draw their power from the Constitution itself. Not only from the central government, from the Constitution also some powers can draw by the state governments. The money generation for three tiers, central level, state level and village level. So it mentioned everything for the smooth running of the government. Because of this federal feature, the decisions will take fastly and the burden over the state government also will reduce. So this is one of the key feature of our constitution, that is federalism. Means having three-tier government, central level, state level and village level. And the next one is parliamentary form of government. Yes, just now we came to know that in India we have three tier of government. In each tier, people has to elect their representatives. So, Constitution adopt the universal adult franchise. According to this, in the country, in spite of their gender, race, caste, religion, region, they has to exercise their vote in the elections. Means they has full right to vote and to elect a representative for their area. These representatives are very important for the democratic functioning and they are accountable and answerable to the people who elected them. So that is meaning of the democracy. The people will elect the representatives. The representatives will exercise the power to deliver the duties, and in turn representatives are responsible for the answering of the questions of the people who elected them. If the people are not satisfied with their representatives, after the speculate period of the time, they can change their representatives. We will learn more about the representatives in the next chapter. And about the remaining key features of the constitution we will discuss tomorrow.